And down the rabbit hole of response videos, we keep going. This is a response by Backyard Tech to EB's video to Chris Titus Tech. In the last video, I disagreed with EB, but mostly that's from point of entry, and that's fine. I'm not going to say EB's wrong. I'm not going to say he's right. I'm just going to say his opinion in Salient is the best out of the box experience. I would agree if you view your gaming PC as a console. That's my take. But that's a perspective thing, and that's okay. We all have different ones. So let's see what Backyard Tech's got to say to EB.
Backyard Tech.
Arvo all, just gone 25 past 2, Thursday afternoon here, and I've just watched English Bob's first epic rant video for 2020. And I want to make a video following on from that. But I also want to make a video based on the fact that I have a sneaking suspicion, and I may have misinterpreted it, but that he's bashing MX Linux, one of my preferred Linux operating systems. Now, I have not got permission from Steve to show you his video, his rant video.
First off, no, he is not bashing MX. He actually MX is one of usually his recommendations. Just gonna throw that out there. MX to him is like his second. Like if Peppermint went away, it's usually MX. Like he has a very soft spot for MX.
So I'm not going to show you that because I've not sought permission from him, and I wouldn't anyway. Okay, it's Steve's property. It's EB's property, and therefore I don't have permission to show you his epic rant. I'll leave a link in the description below, but I'm not showing you the video because I've not sought permission from Steve. Okay? I have a great lot of respect for English Bob. I've been watching him before I started my YouTube channel. I catch as many of his live streams as I can live. I'm one of his silent viewers that doesn't say a lot because I actually enjoy his videos. I find his rants phenomenal. But this rant that he's put up has me a little concerned. Now, he took a legitimate rant against Chris Titus, and I agree with everything English Bob said, particularly regarding Salient OS. Now, I had a look at Salient OS. We gave it the Backyard Tech Channel treatment, and I said to Mark, Silent Robot, he's nailed it. It's one Arch distro I have on a hard drive, and if I want to use it, I will plug it in. But not only that, Salient OS is set up for gaming. As Steve said, everything's in it to make your ultimate Linux-based gaming rig. So I agree with Steve on that. All right, old mate completely and utterly agrees with you. I disagree with what Chris Titus had to say. But here's the kicker. Now,
I think you're gonna find that most people have plenty to disagree with Chris Titus about, specifically around this. Manjaro is probably the least recommended distro for gaming, as there should be. But that's my take, and I used Manjaro for over a year and a half. I'm still using an Arch-based distro. I'm on a production machine, so I'm expecting it to break. But I know that, and I'm going in expecting it. Doesn't make it any less than knowing when it happens, but so yes, like Salient, like like you were saying, ultimate gaming rig. If you view it as an appliance, totally agree.
one operating system I'm surprised Steve didn't mention was one of my other preferred operating systems. That's Open Man Driver. As far as gaming, which I am not, but from a gaming point of view, both Open Man Driver and MX aren't any good. because there is so much stuff you've got to add to get that ultimate Linux experience for gaming. We all know that. All right? Musical Neptunian. He's running Ubuntu Studio for his music production because it gives him everything he wants. It works the way he wants. That's fine. Okay? Steve's on Peppermint, but he's had to make Peppermint work for him. Now that he's got it working, he loves it. Okay? I don't have a problem with that.
And the Ubuntu Studio example. If you view your computing experience as an appliance, then any of these pre-rolled, pre-done distros are great for it. That's my entire point. It's all in the viewpoint you take on your computing experience. And us as computer users, as like, you know, techno people and all these other, you know, technologists and shit, we view technology differently. Especially, and we view technology really differently because we're already a subset, but we're a subset within a subset because we're Linux users who view technology in a totally different way. And we're very opinionated about it. So for me, I see the point in these I'm going to say niche distros, but when I say niche, I don't mean that as a slap. Very purpose built distros. They are specific for a particular function. So if you view them as Kali as an example, is, you know, for pen testing and that, you know, that stuff. All the pen testing distros, all the privacy focused ones like Tails and take your pick. That's the difference. These are tools. Do you need a general OS or do you need a specific tool? If you need a specific tool, it's an appliance because it's a piece of hardware.
What I have a problem with, and this is where, and look, if someone wants to tell English Bob about this video, and Steve, you put a comment, fine. If you're bashing MX Linux because it's MX Linux, then I will defend that. If you're bashing MX Linux because you can't game on it, I agree with you. As far as I'm concerned, MX Linux is a fantastic GPOS for the everyday man. If you take the gaming out of the equation, okay, as a GPOS, it is phenomenal. Yes, it's light to medium lightweight operating system. My streaming system upstairs, you know, catch up TV, YouTube, movies, everything. MX runs it brilliantly. I cannot fault it.
Again, and you know, you mentioned GPOS, a general purpose operating system. Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, Arch, any of these flavors, different OSs, call them whatever you want of Linux, can be made to whatever you want. That is the beauty of a GPOS. You can turn it into whatever you want, but that requires you to do it. Hence, the general purpose finds a function. The difference with some of these other distros like Salient, etc., are ones that they are purpose built. So that is why I continue to hammer home the mentality with these distros, Kali, with Tails, etc. They're purpose built for one function and one feature. They have the Unix design philosophy to them. And that is do one thing and do it fucking well. Hence, an appliance.
The trouble I've had with MX has not been caused by the operating system. It's been caused by catastrophic hardware failure. Okay? But I run MX19 here at home. Okay? The other half's parents love it. It's simple, it's easy to use. They can even run the updates themselves. Okay? It has everything in it they need. The other half, her research, her streaming, everything, again, MX Linux. She loves it. I love OpenMan Driver LX. I love MX19, followed by Farron, followed by Guruman. And I still have Salient on a 2.5-inch hard drive I can bung into a laptop or a PC. So my thing is here is, yes, I agree with everything Steve said, and I'll put a link in the description below to his video. I have a lot of respect for Steve. But I cannot idly go by and watch him, a man I respect, bash the crap out of MX Linux. Now, I may have misinterpreted that, and that's fine. Okay? I know that to game on MX, you've got to do a lot of tweaking, and that's fine. But as a GPOS, no, I disagree. MX Linux will do everything your average home user will need to do, assuming they're not gaming. If they're not gaming, MX is perfectly fine.
The whole point of a general purpose OS is the whole point of a general purpose OS is jack of all trades, master of none. That is the purpose of a general purpose OS. It does everything you could need it to, but it doesn't do everything well. It goes against the Unix design philosophy. Again, difference in approach and difference on how you view your tech. When I game, I view it as an appliance. This machine that I'm doing this on now, everything is geared towards video and audio. Gaming is a secondary function. It comes as a general purpose OS, though. Just some stuff. It's a point of view. It's a different point of view to come from. So MX can be just as viable of an alternative for gaming as can Debian, as can Ubuntu, as can Fedora, OpenMan Driva, OpenSUSE, Tumbleweed, or Leap, or however the hell they're doing that now. Any distro can be used. Most distros are general purpose. The big ones, Fedora, Debian, etc. Especially the ones that are pre-compiled, like general purpose OSs. Specifically Ubuntu, specifically MX, specifically Fedora, specifically, take your pick, Manjaro, Solus. Those distros are specifically built to be general purpose computing systems or operating systems. They are not meant to do everything well. They will do everything, but they won't do everything well. Jack of all trades, master of none.
If they're gaming, yes, you're going to have to do a heap of work to it. But like I said, I don't want to get into a slanging match over this with English Bob, a man I respect. I've been watching English Bob well before I started the Backyard Tech channel. I was watching English Bob with my old channel. Okay? So I have a great lot of respect for him. And I know if you get into a slanging match with him, you'll be in a critical condition, jammed in a psychiatric ward, and your YouTube channel will be on life support. This is exactly the same as getting into a slanging match with Swathe Apocalypse. The only difference being is that Swathe will kill you, whereas English Bob will just leave you on life support. But Steve, mate, I am sorry. If you're bashing MX because it's MX Linux, I will defend it. Because to me, as a GPOS, it is absolutely fantastic. If you're bashing it because you can't game on it, I agree with you entirely. You won't get any arguments out of me on that. You certainly won't get any arguments on me out of that regarding Mark's operating system. Because he nailed it. A full-blown Arch distro. And I will defend Salient, even though it's Arch. But Steve, if you're just bashing MX Linux because either A, you don't like it, or B, you're bashing it because you can, no, I'm sorry. I don't often disagree with you, mate, but on that one I will. So, look, I agree with Steve entirely. It's good to see him have a rant. I remember his Alex Cute rant. He went right off his collective nut, dead set in the Fed income department, smashed it. But because I love MX Linux, I use it, not here on the main PC, but everything else I've got, the other half's parents, I've got other people on MX, I've got people on Ferrin. No, I cannot idly sit by while a YouTuber I respect, one of the YouTubers I respect greatly, go by and just bash MX. Because as a GPOS, it is fantastic. Okay, yeah, I have a soft spot for Debian-based systems. I've said that before, on many occasions. Yes, I know I get howled on because I'm using MX Linux, and some people see MX Linux as a very, very, very dirty, grubby operating system. That's fine. You're entitled to that. I don't care. I love it. Much in the same way I love OpenMan Driver. So, Steve, if someone tells you about this video or anyone happens to tell Steve about this, please tell him about it. I agree with everything you said regarding Chris Titus, number one. Number two, I agree exactly what you said about Salient OS. Number three, if you're bashing MX Linux because you can't game on it, I agree. If you're bashing MX Linux because it's MX Linux, it'll be the first time in an extraordinarily long time I disagree with English Bob. I'm sorry, Steve. I can't back you on that one, boyo. You're not going to get any support out of old mate if you're just bashing MX Linux because it's MX Linux. Now,
And again, to go point for point. One, I agree. Chris Titus is wrong. Shock and surprise there. Point two, I agree. Salient is a great OS specifically for gaming. Hence why I view it as an appliance OS as opposed to a general purpose OS. Again, it's approach. MX, it's a great OS all around. But it's like Ubuntu, it's like Pop, it's like Manjaro, it's like Solus. It's great at a lot of things, but it's not perfect at all of them. So, again, I'm going to keep saying it. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. So, that is why I take an appliance mentality with very specific distros and the way they're built. Salient, Draugr, I think it's Super Gamer. It is another one. Ultimate Edition. Like, these are distros that are Kali, Tails. These are distros that are specifically tailored to a specific function. And you just happen to be able to do secondary functions on them. But they're very particularly focused.
He was right. Manjaro you can't game on, MX you can't game on, Pop you can't game on. He's heavily modified Peppermint, I know that. LX4 is the same problem. You'd have to heavily modify and get a whole lot of stuff that's going to weigh the operating system down. Salient, it's there by default and flies. But I am not going to idly stand by why one of the YouTubers I have a great lot of respect for, and there's many, bashes MX Linux. Generically speaking. If I've misinterpreted that, fine. But
do know, EB really does like MX. He's saying as a gaming focused distro, it's utter trash, basically. Same with Pop, same with Manjaro, etc. You know, take your pick, Solus, whatever. My counterpoint, my argument out of all of this whole debate is not whether or not these are good or bad distros. It's about user experience and the viewpoint you're coming to them with and how they're actually built. So if you're looking to me, the best general purpose OS that is easy enough to get set up and going for gaming, and this is the difference, is Pop OS. Go to Pop Shop, type Lutris. Go to Pop Shop, type Steam. Go to Pop Shop, type Wine. And it pulls in all the shit you need. 3 things, 3 applications. That's it. That is the user experience. If you are looking specifically for the best like this machine is nothing but a gaming rig, then yeah, Salient OS is the way to go. Draugr OS is something else to look at. Super Gamer is something else to look at. It's the mentality in which you approach it. That's the difference.
If he's bashing MX because it's just MX, then no. I'm sorry, Steve. I can't back you on that argument. I'll back you on the argument you can't game on MX. Agreed. But if you're bashing MX because it's MX, sorry, mate. I can't back.
Something else that kind of bugs me about these this chain of videos is, oh, you can't game on this. No, the whole point is you can. Your gaming experience will vary wildly, though. That's the big thing that no one wants to mention here. Hell, you can game on Kali if you want to. I'm not saying you should, but you can. Any of these can be made to game. If you're talking primary function built specifically to do, that is an appliance mentality. One function, one idea, one concept that an entire project is built around. Salient, Draugr, Super Gamer, Kali, Tails. Those are appliance distributions with one function that just happen to have secondary functions.
Back you on that one. It'll be the first time in a long time I haven't backed Steve on a rant. Okay? And I love English Bob's content. It's phenomenal. Yeah, he's not gonna lose me as a viewer over this. But I'm just saying, look, Chris Titus got it wrong. And Steve's right. Okay? No argument there. But yes, you can't game on Manjaro without mods. Yes, you can't game on MX without mods. Yes, you can't game on PEP without mods, and so on and so forth. Salient OS, built from the ground up, ready for gaming. Not only gaming, you got to remember Mark put in a whole lot of graphics stuff and AV stuff into that. Okay? It is the Arch distro I use when I want to use Arch. But in this case, look, as I said, if I've misinterpreted Steve's rant, which is possible, that's fine. But if he's just bashing MX Linux because it's MX Linux, it'll be the first time I cannot back Steve in this argument. So, English Bob, tell me. All right? Let old mate know. Did I misinterpret you? Or are you bashing MX because it's MX? Or are you bashing MX Linux because I use it? All right? Someone want to let Steve know, but like I said, I agree with everything English Bob did, everything he said, but if he's bashing MX Linux because he's just bashing MX Linux, it's probably the first time I can't back him on that argument. But there's my video reply. I will leave a link in the description below to Steve's rant. Steve, English Bob, fantastic rant, mate. Brilliant. Good to see the first rant video of 2020 from you. Guys, catch you tonight for the convo. Cheers. This has been another present.
I'm not disagreeing. I think it's the mentality in which you approach this entire conversation. The best out of the box general purpose OS to get going for gaming. I'm going to go with Pop OS. Specific distros built for gaming, that to me is an appliance mentality. It's a tool with a specific function, a specific design. That's the difference. So when people talk out of the box, it depends on the experience. That's why I harped on user experience. And I'm still going to recommend Pop OS for the out of the box experience. For appliance experience, pick your distro, Salient, Draugr, goes on and on. But the distro that is the easiest to get up and running for gaming, that is a general purpose OS, is Pop. 3 applications, and you're off into the fucking races. That's my take. What do you guys think? Well, you guys know what to do. EB, I don't disagree with you. I'm not even mad. I'm just saying it's perspective. It's all on how you view it. I'm coming from it from a different point of view. I get where you're coming from, but again, it depends what you're looking for in your tech.